Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we'll be discussing a very important software development technique, and that is very much prevalent in today's world, and that is called microservices. So anytime whenever we are going to start a big project, we need to make sure that which development approach we are going to use. So earlier, the normal development technique or deployment technique was monolithic approach, in which your database, your code, your services, everything sits on one particular server, and all the code database they were tightly coupled. So if there is any change in a particular module, your full application needs to be, so first of all it needs to be in under maintenance mode, and then there was some time for that particular period your application was either not available, or the main thing is like it was the latest version was not available, so we used to do on a different platform. Now sometimes if we deploy the application and if there is any problem in a particular module, the full application, the error was showing. So in order to overcome these issues, the latest trend is for microservices. Again, it is also a architecture, it's a software development approach through which what we do, we break a big application. So whenever we are going to design a particular application, the first thing is we should break up into simple modules. And when I say simple modules, so these modules are loosely coupled. So if I talk about any e-commerce application, so in e-commerce application, if I want to segregate all the different modules, so we have a product module, we have a category module, we have users module, we have your payment module, we have your orders module. So all these modules are entirely independent. They are capable of doing functionality independent of each other. So first thing is we should identify what all independent modules are there, so that all these modules are loosely coupled, they are not tightly coupled. If they are tightly coupled means if you are going to make any change in a particular module, it is going to affect. So the idea behind microservices is we will be identifying different services, and of course if there is any chance that, or there are many instances where these services are interacting with each other, in that case they can interact with either with using functions. So we have lambda functions, we have azure functions, we have cloud functions, so or using API, these can be interacted. But the normal segregation should be in such a way that these microservices will be deployed on different servers. They will have different load balancers. So for user there will be a code, so we have the liberty that we can write the user module in C sharp, Python, Java, any of the language. And again for the database we have the liberty, because again it will be in rows and columns, so it will be a structured database. So we can go with MySQL, MS SQL, Postgres. So there are a lot of options. If we are going to manipulate any text file, that is unstructured data, Excel file, so in that case the best choice is that we should go with a container based deployment, where we'll be using your S3 bucket. So again, bucket is there in GCP also, bucket is there in AWS also, in Azure we have container. So all those options and all these services are independent of each other. They can be scaled up, scaled down. And if at a particular time there is problem in a particular service, so instead of looking all the code in different services, it is very much helpful in error segregation. So each service performs a different and unique function. First of all, if you are going to create a microservice from scratch, then we have all the liberty that we can sketch, we can map what all independent modules are there. If something is already developed, then in that case, breaking a complex application into simple modules, independent modules, that become a tough task. So we need to write some code. Whatever is overlapping between two modules, we need to write so that there is not lot of dependency and they are still in loosely coupled model. So through API we communicate with other. And when, so it is not that every application should be created using microservice architecture. There are instances for in which we have a big application with number of functionalities. In that case, we should go with this because microservices comes with lot of overhead also in terms of your error logging, in terms of your management, in terms of your cost. So all those things also comes with. So at one place we are getting lots of flexibility, but if we just compare the overheads, we have to deploy each and every service independently. We have to use load balancer. We have to make sure that all the necessary infra is provided for each and every service. Then there will be some latency also, because again, if we want to get some information from, or if there is any communication between these services, so that also is there. Then we have to make sure that the error logging is done at one place, if it is done at different places, because these are all independent microservices. So all those overload comes. So whenever there is monolithic application where it is very big, and again it we can easily identify the independent modules, in that case we should go with the microservice architecture. Then if we talk about, there are many ways through which you can deploy. Docker is the best one, in which we just put the image into a container, and now in terms of issues like referencing, version, all those things, uh, that will not occur, because again, container contains the exact environment whatever you are working on your local system. So we just discussed about cons. Again, communicating with the microservices, again, that is a very important part. If there is some latency, then handling these microservices is difficult. Then so many configuration have to increase, the efforts also is there increase, managing is increase, maintenance is again difficult part. Then again, security part is there. So there are number of positive things whenever we are going to implement this microservices, but again it also comes with overhead. That is why it's very important to see whether actually you require this microservice architecture or not. For simple application, monolithic is best if we don't have those many modules, but for complex application it is best choice, because again it gives scalability. Its services are independently managed. More than one service can be parallelly developed and deployed. So if we want to have a new function or new module, it is not that we are going to make any changes in the existing microservices. We just need to create the new module, deploy that module, and if there is any communication between the services, we just open that through using either the bus or using the API services. So friends, this is all about microservices, how to make sure, how to plan your microservice architecture, because again it's a software development. Again, whatever you have been learning in software development, it is also the part of architecture technique. Whether there is an existing application you want to break down into microservices, or you are starting a new application, so in that case you have the liberty, and in that case the complexity is reduced because you are starting it from the scratch. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching this video.